just waiting because I know it usually cuts off the first part of when I'm talking. Um, not gonna give a intro. I'm not even feeling like all of that. I don't feel like trying, so I'm not going to try. This video, honestly, is really just for myself. You know, I've been documenting my life, basically from 2000 and, well, really a long time, because I was documenting my life through Facebook um, for a very long time. And then in 2020, I came over to YouTube, to a channel that I had already had for what? At 2020, my channel was how old? 5 years old. So I already had the channel, but I jumped on it daily and started documenting my life. I was hoping that my life, I really was hoping my life would get better. But besides get better, I was hoping to, crazy that I thought this way, but inspire other people that are in my situations or similar to my situation. Mainly, it was to show other prison wives that if I can make it, you can make it. But I really feel like you can make it, but I don't think I'll ever make it. I really don't. And what I mean is actually make it without a struggle. My life, my whole life has been an uphill struggle battle. I look back over my life and I try to find one time when it was fairly easy or just you have struggles, but they're normal, regular struggles that, I mean, if as long as you put in the hard work, you can overcome. It feels like my whole life I've been in a battle of my life, even in childhood. Like, and then I used to feel like, okay, some people have bad childhoods, but then they have better adulthoods. Like a bad start usually sets you up for your later is gonna be greater, and that's how I thought I was gonna be. That yeah, I had to go through a lot, but it would get better later. And I'm in my later years. I'm in my mid to later years, and I'm looking at the same struggles. And even if they aren't the same exact struggles, it's always the struggle. Like, just for me to do something that I see people do all the time. Like, this is just an example. It'll be a situation that I see many people do all the time. But when I set to do that thing, I met with so much conflict, confusion. It's an uphill battle. Sure, I fight and get through it because I'm a very strong person. But it's never just cut and dry. Just do it and it's done. It's do it and then it's almost like the way I would liken it to is you tie your shoe, right? Most people just tie their shoe and their shoe is tied. And they go on and they start walking, and they're good because their shoes are tied because they've done the work to tie their shoes. For me, I'll tie my shoe, and then I'll go to walking, and then I'll trip and fall over my shoestrings that I just tied. And then I'll try to tie them again. And I'll say, okay, well, it didn't stay tied the first time, so let me tie these shoes again, but I'm going to tie them tighter. And I go to walking and I still trip over my shoestrings and fall. Then I'm like, I'm looking ahead. I keep falling. Let me tie, like triple tie these. Let me take extra precaution. Let me look down as I'm walking with these shoestrings. And I do all of that, and they still come untied, and I trip and I fall on my face. That's kind of been that's been my life. It's always been a struggle. And there's times in my life that I accept this struggle. I just know this is how my life is. This is kind of where I tell y'all, I used to just think I was cursed. Like, if there's a short end of the stick, just run it to me because there ain't no need of going through the motions. We already know I lose. I always lose. And for a very long time, I just stayed like that. Like, I already know I'm not gonna, overcome this. I already know, but I'm gonna try. But I already know how this is gonna play out. It's almost like I watched this movie that was, and this is probably not even recording, guys. Or if it is, it's very choppy and pixelated, not even worth watching. It's okay. I'm just trying to save the audio so I can have the real raw feelings of how I'm feeling right now in this moment. A lot of times I use my channel to go back. Um, when God does bring me through things, I can look back and see exactly where I was. No sugarcoating. I was bad off, and God got me through that. So that's why I'm being real. But I was like that for a long time, and people would call me negative. Even my mother used to say, I can't stand that about you. Why do you, like, she would be like, Kita, they're doing scholarships. Why don't you apply? And my response would be, for what? Why would they pick me out of everybody? And I kept that mentality most through my younger life up into my early 20s. And then something in me, well, really, this situation with my husband, it just changed my life. And it made it to where, because I was fighting for him and for our daughter, was no longer just fighting for me, the lost cause. I was fighting for them. And I was like, no, I could be the one that they call back. I could be the one that succeeds so that I can help the rest of my family. I could be the one to, you know, and I became that person that went from not even trying because I knew I would fail in the end to the person that, mm-mm, I too deserve to have what I see everyone else around me have. Tupac even said that you crack the door open and you in there eating, and first you come saying I'm hungry. Can you spare a little something, and then by days later you down the door because you see them in there eating and you want to eat too. I mean, it's only natural. You want to eat. I became that person that just knew this was not how my life was going to be like this. Just for everything I've tried to fail, which Latoya Kia says failing, you don't really fail. It's you learn or you either win or you learn. But it's hard to not, you know. And now I'm like, I regret all my hard work. I regret all my time spent. I have so many regrets because I wish I had stayed that young girl that knew, because I already knew, you know, I knew I'd get the short end of the stick. It's like knowing you get the short end, but you reach for the longer stick, and then in the end you end up with the short stick. Like, just run me the short end of the stick. I don't know how I became not that person, but that's where there's the disconnect. I'm the short end of the stick person, but I keep reaching for the longer stick. That's, I don't know. And I keep trying to be the person that stops trying, stop fighting. Just stop fighting the inevitable. This is the way it is. But I don't know how to stop trying. So I've been being attacked on every side, every single side you could think of, every area in my life. I tell you, I'm used to losing, so it doesn't surprise me, when you know, financially, I'm just watching myself go down, 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 and I've never really had a lot. I never really had a lot. I always had a little bit, but I always was creative in how to stretch the little that I had. Single mother by force, not choice, but always able to provide everything needed for my daughter, our daughter. Learned how to be mother and father in every way that I could. My health, I've been battling my health since I was 22 years old. It's been a battle trying to work and be disabled and working. Hurts, and it only gets worse. Like each ailment only gets worse, which makes it harder and harder to make a dollar. I got a brilliant mind. God gave me a brilliant mind. He gave me a lot of gifts. And I just knew that some way those gifts were going to make room for me. I just have to keep fighting, keep using them. One day someone will see what I'm doing, and I know I don't have the means, but someone that do have the means would, step in. God sends who you need if it's meant, which means if people aren't showing up, this is not meant. This isn't meant. So, struggling financially, 2020, I thought it would all be behind me, that struggle, because I thought I was going to be a graphic designer. I should have knew better, but I don't know how to keep. Like, I'll be at this point, and by tomorrow, it'll be the next idea in my head, and I'll be running after it, and then I'll go to knowing just it's a matter of time it's gonna work out. But it just never fully plays through and works out. So that's how I go back and forth. But at 2020, I just knew that was the end of the struggle. So I finally got my college degree. And that's what I thought was needed to, be able to survive and support myself. And then there was a whole story behind that, why that didn't work out. That's failure number umpteenth. Cosmetology school, rapping career, art career, this, add in all the middle, just failure after failure after failure. But Ms. Latoya say learning lesson after learning lesson after learning lesson. But I still thought that, okay, that didn't work out. Whatever don't work out is not meant for you. But, that's, it can't, how could it be meant for you if it doesn't work out? But I'm like, but what am I meant for? Because, and I've literally been asking the Lord to show me what I'm meant for. What is my purpose? What is the purpose of me on this earth besides struggling? Besides the never ending uphill battle just to barely survive. So, all at once, last month, I found out, you know, you try to help somebody and it ends up messing you up. That's what I did. I took on something that trying to help, you know, family member. And when they fall through, I have to carry that burden. So I've been struggling with that. I know I've been struggling with this storage since I moved. The cost of that, they keep upping it. Seems like every other month. My storage bill went from $70, which was already too much, 207. They just upped it. It was 180 something, and then last month they upped it to 207. I've been struggling to find time to sort through my storage so that I can get rid of it because I cannot afford it. So that's a slow process because I gotta sort through the storage in between going to work in pain, coming home, grandchildren. You can't push off time with your grandkids, and it was summertime, so I'm trying to spend time with the kids, and you can't push family time off. Oh yeah, they transferred Marcello away. That happened last month. So all of this is right together, which causes the burdens to be higher. So not only that, so I'm struggling to hurry up and get the storage empty because the next payment is coming on the 21st. So I really need to be out of the storage by the 20th, 20th, which now it is midnight, past midnight. So I got 7 days. I got 1 week. I've actually don't know how Grace of God emptied half of the storage. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Trying to find, because I may not be able to sort through the whole storage. I'm trying to find alternatives. So finding a new storage, or if it comes down to it, if I just get a U-Haul, load it all in that, and then go to a new storage because they usually run a first month special, move it so that I can get the discount and it won't be 200 something dollars, because I really need to be putting that $200 towards other bills. So my paycheck is really stretched beyond what it really is. I'm just a theme park worker, the graphic design, and I still can't understand how I'm such a low wage worker with the gifts and talents that I have. And behind the gifts and talents, I put education, but I still am at the bottom of the barrel. My disabilities have held me back a lot in my life, so much. From 22, I'm 44. So from 22 to 44, it's been nothing but a struggle. I became disabled before I can even build a career. You know, you're still building your career in your early 20s, but grace of God, I still can work. So I can't make morsels. I can make the barely to get by. But it's just, at some point in your life, you get tired of just barely getting by. And the way I'm going, don't know if I could be doing that type of work. I'm in so much pain. Like now, even now, my jaw is swollen. I have TMJ. I'm in so much pain. My jaw feels so freaking painful. I could barely talk. My neck hurts. I woke up with I have 5 pinched nerves in my neck, 3 herniated discs from a slip and fall. You know that short end of the stick? I got that at that time too. They injured me. I just got fired from the company for getting injured. And the week in between my mother passing wrongfully, the lawyer calls me to tell me he can't represent me. He's dropping me because he just looked at the camera 3 almost 4 years later and said, "No, no, you slipped in your dress. It wasn't a slip and fall," which it was. But you know how they can manipulate the truth and turn it to what they can blame it on you. So I ended up with more permanent injuries on top of my already disabilities. Already can't hardly support myself, just to have more injuries and make it harder and harder to work. But you have to work because there's no other way to make income for you. So, yesterday We went down to Cocoa Beach. A couple of weeks ago, I was in the theme park with my nephew because one of his favorite roller coasters are about to close, Rocket Roller Coaster. So we went to the park because I always want to make the way I feel in my life, because I know my life ain't, but because my life ain't what I want, I always have the mentality that I could be that to somebody else. I can help somebody else. Don't nobody want to help me, or nobody can help me even if they wanted to. Though my dreams are not being fulfilled, I can help fulfill somebody else's. So I'm taking my nephew to the park, and a guy stops me, and he's like, "Ma'am, come here, come here." Um, well, he kind of, the way he did it was slick. He's like, "I got a gift for you. I got a gift for you." And I'm like, "No, no, just keep walking. I'm trying to get my nephew to just keep walking. No, no, being nice, but no. Already, I don't want to buy nothing. I don't want you selling me nothing. We're just here for the roller coaster." So my nephew's steady trying to go over there to get the free gift. So he gives my nephew a pen, and it was like a celebration pen of what he was celebrating. So the pens bring attention in the theme park to, it gets the whatever, like if it's your birthday or if you're celebrating this or that, all the workers will say, "Hey, congratulations," or "Happy birthday," or whatever. So it got him a lot of attention, which was special for him. So as he's over there writing out the button, he's like, "Hey, I'm with this company. I'm with Westgate." So I already know what time it is. And I'm like, "Okay, get your button. Let's go." Let's go. So he's like, "No, no, I'm being real with you. Just I got an offer for you. All you're doing is you're going and seeing this property, and in the end you get $175." So I'm really like, "No, I can't do that. I already know when you go, they trying to talk you into this and that, and I can't. I just cannot." And he's like, "Ma'am, I'm honestly being honest with you. There's no obligation to buy. You literally just have to sit through the presentation to the property, and you get your $175. I go ahead and do it. I sign up. So you have to give $20 to hold your spot. That week, that was that week that I that was the week I literally took a cash advance. And when I paid my bills, I had none of the cash advance left. So with a cash advance, you're in the hole. So I don't have the paycheck, and I don't have the paycheck that's coming. Like literally, I had $5. I was living on a prayer, but God got me through it. Through that week, I didn't know how I got through it, but did. So 20 of those dollars went to that, which they were like, "We're gonna reimburse you your $20, plus you get $175." And I'm like, "Well, maybe this is a blessing because I am broke, like honestly." And that 20th is still coming up with that storage. So I'm like, okay. I even moved back my doctor's appointment because my doctor's appointment was supposed to be on the same day that we went to preview the property, right? So he says, "How many people are coming?" I said, "Because I always have the kids, and it's a Cocoa Beach, it's Westgate Cocoa Beach." So I'm like, "Oh wow," because I'm always looking for stuff to do with the kids. I was a single mother by force, not choice, and I didn't have a lot of money. I now see that I had a lot of money if you think about it compared to now. But I never really had a lot of money, but I always just knew how to make it work and how to still give kids the world, which is crazy on the very smallest or no budget. So I'm in my mind, oh, this could be a beach day because he's like, the resort is right directly on the beach. So I'm thinking, tour the property, then get the $175, and then we go to the beach. And that's a whole free, thing. So he's like, so I'm like two adults because I have my sister everywhere I go. Um, so he's like, how many adults? Two adults. And then, what else did he say? Oh, and I said it's like three kids, but it was supposed to be for that Sunday, the day before. So I thought that my niece and nephew were going to go. So I had my niece and nephew, four kids, because I had my niece and nephew, grandson, granddaughter, right? I carry those kids around like they my kids, honestly. Um, and my sister. So the next day, I had mentioned it to my daughter, and she was like, "Why didn't you do it on Monday? Because I'm off on Monday. I could have went with you." Because he had mentioned that, hey, at the end of our conversation and after he took the $20 deposit, he was like, "If your sister comes and sits through the preview or the presentation, she can get $175 too." So I'm like, "Oh, cool, okay." So I tell my daughter, I mention it to her. She's like, "I wanted to come. Why you know I'm off on Mondays. Why didn't you do it on Monday?" I'm like, "Okay." So I switched it to Monday, but Monday was my doctor's follow up. So I had to switch my doctor follow up appointment. That'll be coming in a week or so. It'll be coming a week or so from now, right? Because they didn't have a appointment right back to back. So we switched the day, and we end up going to Cocoa Beach. This was yesterday. I was so tired. Cocoa Beach from me is like an hour and 15 minutes. But we had to be there by noon. I barely make it anywhere on time. I stayed up super duper late. Um, just, you know, all of the above. So that so much stuff to do, and it's really no time to do it. So I end up staying up late. But then I've been like not feeling good. Like I've really not been feeling good health wise. But I'm steady pushing myself through. My body is just in pain. So I get up, get ready. The kids are ready. So now it's me, my sister, my daughter, um, and my niece and nephew. It was the first day of school, so they couldn't go, of course, because now it's on Monday rather than Sunday. But it's the grandkids. So we go down to Cocoa Beach. We actually are a little bit late. We arrived to the Westgate Cocoa Beach, which is If you've ever been to Westgate, this is completely different. I had vlogged it for you, but I'll get to this part of why I don't have the video, because y'all vlog with me. I think that's more enjoyed on this channel than all the talk of wrongful convictions and injustice, which is why I try to minimize that talk and just vlog. But that's really my passion, so sometimes I throw it in, but I realize it does less, as well as just vlogging. So I did vlog that, and we got there a little bit late. They serve you, like, they didn't have breakfast no more. It usually is a breakfast buffet spread, as they make the presentation or whatever. Tell you about the property, show you the property, this, that. If you've ever been on any of those, you know how it goes. So, and it's really nice. It's nice. It's a nice property. I ain't gonna hold y'all. It's really nice. And I actually had thoughts of just starting a whole different channel. I have like 5 channels, right? But this is the one that I stay and grind in on, that just is so dormant. It just won't grow. And I know it's because I'm talking about wrongful convictions and injustice. That's just not that's not the narrative that is wanted out there. So I already know this is an uphill battle channel. So we were supposed to start me and my daughter, channel, just vlogging the things that we do in Florida. Like, we do a lot. We go a lot of places. And that's it. And maybe the food and the coffee. I love coffee. And I just wanted to start showing all the different coffees I drink at different coffee shops, because also I am a creative, and a lot of times I have to get out to a coffee shop to actually create. It's hard for me to create in the house. So I'm st- I'm trying my best to shift gears to that, because I know that could possibly become something that puts a couple of dollars in my pocket. But this year, I don't know. It's only God can make these dry bones live. So we get there, we do the presentation. Halfway through the presentation, I'm feeling sick. I didn't even really get to check my blood pressure that day, because I had to monitor my blood pressure and my sugar. My sugar was good. Of course, I had to check that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around that. Sugar been decent, but something has had my blood pressure kind of elevated. I definitely think it's stress. Kind of, you know, dueling with other things, but I know it's stress. Stress is definitely playing a part of it. And I'm trying not to be stressed, but I don't know. So I'm really not feeling good anymore. And the meeting is lasting longer than the 90 minutes that you sign up for. So we actually were able to get through that whole session, and no, 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 no. So me and my daughter got through it. My sister ended up saying she didn't want to participate, so she did not get um, the 175. So my daughter and myself get the 175, plus they had to reimburse the $20 for the deposit. So they loaded a debit card of 195, and my daughter had a 175. We both had nothing, so went from nothing to something. We spent the day out at the beach. My granddaughter had the best time. She had been asking to go to the beach for a while. Just never had the time, money, energy, and to actually get out to the beach because we're nowhere like right on the beach. Each way, the beach is about an hour or something away from us. So she's just so cute, picking shells up. And it's reminded me of when I moved here to Florida as a very young girl. Me and my family lived on the beach. My mother and father are from well, my mother, okay, my dad is from Mississippi, then moved to the south side of Chicago when he got of age. My mother's from west side Chicago. They have me, and they live in this one bedroom apartment. I had that wrap, one bedroom apartment with one window. And the, should I plug it? I know y'all don't want to hear it, but I'll just plug it in there. Ma, you was only 17 years old when you say you take my dad to heaven, ho. Just 1 year later, just not that old. A little baby girl named Keita was born, living on the west side of Chicago. Had to struggle just to make it in the ghetto. Had a one-room apartment with one window. Now I'm thinking, how y'all made it with that much dough? My mom had to work at the grocery store, but my daddy got a break. Now to Florida we go. The sun's shining in when we open the door. We got white sandy beaches living right on the shore. Yeah, you gotta struggle just to make it through. 'Cause there's no gain without no pain. Leave all that darkness behind you. And when the way is clear, you could breathe again. You gotta struggle just to make it through, 'cause there's no pain without no gain. Sorry, there's no gain without no pain. Leave all that darkness behind you, and when the way is clear, you could breathe again. Things don't always go right, but you gotta be strong. You gotta keep up the fight. Things in your life will come to knock you down, but if you conquer them all, you receive your crown. Just don't give up. Don't give in. Just dust yourself off. You could rise again and again and again and again. Yeah. It's your girl Cadillac. But that was that song about that. They had a one bedroom apartment with one window. I done heard so many stories about my mama telling me this. And they moved to Florida and lived decently on the beach. And I remember going, and it's vague because I was really young, collecting seashells with my mother. And we would take those seashells we gathered because my dad's a construction worker, so of course he knows electrician stuff. So he would make, uh, we would glue the shells on a base like a tin can, and he would make a lamp out of it. And it was bringing back memories. And I remember we would bring bread out there back there, and that was the 80s, to feed the birds. And I would get scared because the birds would almost attack me for the bread. And that movie, The Birds, was out. That used to scare me because that's what I thought that was. But they was only attacking me because I had the bread or whatever. But it was bringing back memories. See my sister out there on the beach. You know, she struggles with, she lives with epilepsy. So a lot of times it's hard for her to get out and go places. So anytime it's something I can take her to, I'm taking her. So I'm seeing my sister enjoying gathering shells with my granddaughter, and we're just all having a good time. I'm looking at that ocean, just seeing freedom. Imagining Marcello coming home and we actually being able to have him at the beach with us and how he would perceive that type of freedom. That's one thing me and him never got to do. We never got to go to the beach together. That's something we always wanted to do, never got to do. Because our life together was cut short in that manner, in the physical manner. We've been together through bars, of course, with restrictions and stipulations and that forever, but an actual free relationship, it was so short. By the time it started, it was over. We had a really good day. I used the card to, and my daughter checks the balance. I got my 195. She has a 175. I'm like, now I could pay my phone bill. I could, put the gas in the car. And I did. I got gas. I got food for us to eat. And the rest I was just going to use throughout the week. I tried to use it today to put $10 on the phone for Marcello to call because, my GTL is always low. So I barely got money to add to the phone. So I told him, you really got to cut back calling because right now I can't afford it. Or if, you know, $5 covers a 30-minute call. But if you hang up early, it leaves your balance. So just call, check in, and basically we got to get off the phone. So I tried to add $10 to the card because I was like, oh, he might call today because he didn't call yesterday. So he's been trying to space out the days because I don't have it. It rejects. I'm like, uh, that don't make sense. And I tried to, yeah, and before I went to the storage, I tried to use the card at Walmart to buy some, I had tried, it was crazy. I seen some noodles, dill pickle noodles. I never heard of that. But I said I was curious, so I picked that up, and then I seen a little $5 T-shirt that could fit my nephew, and I tried to purchase that with the gift card, and it declined. So I'm like, okay, I was thinking maybe, possibly it didn't take the GTL because possibly GTL only takes credit or debit, and this is technically a gift card. But then when it declined it at Walmart, I'm like, okay, something is wrong. So I'm thinking maybe I have the wrong card because a while back I had did this like a couple of years ago. I did a little tour and they give you that gift or whatever. So I'm thinking I got maybe the wrong card. So y'all, I find the old card, which made me know, no, that's not the old card. This is the new card because I found the old card. This is the current card that they just gave me that literally should have a over $100 balance on it because all I did was buy food and gas. And I did not buy $195 worth of food and gas. I didn't. So I call and it says zero balance. You have no money on the card. Huh? How could I have no money on the card? I haven't even used the card. I didn't get the chance to use the card. So just as fast as that blessing came in, it was like it was repoed, repoed blessing. So that's really frustrated me all evening. Nobody's answering the card thing. I go online and it shows the transactions I made, but it says any pending transactions may not show yet. So I don't know what the heck happened. Did somebody ping the card and was able to siphon the whole thing, or and then that means it's a gift card. I'm not going to be able to get that back most likely. So I'm like, but I'm making amends with it because I'm like, literally, it really wasn't your money. What you did get, because I'm always trying to find the bright side of it. What you did get, you got a trip to take them to the beach. It was beautiful, and you got to refill your gas, and y'all ate. That's what you got out of it. You didn't get the hundred something you thought you would have, and it wasn't like it was actual money, but it really could have helped. It really could have helped me. So I'm gonna try to call them in the morning. Um, my daughter offered to give me her card. I'm like, no. Why would I take your blessing? Just, you know, it's just this is my this is how things go for me. And then let me tell you what else happened, which had me. We got in late last night, and I was so tired. We walked a mile on the beach, and then we walked a mile back. We were tired. I was hurting. My legs was on fire. Um, and I kept like holding my grandson and putting him back in the stroller and trying to push the stroller on the sand. And I really felt it this morning. I'm hurting this morning because of the activities I did yesterday. So I'll hurt for a few days before my body feels better. So I wake up this morning and get ready for work, and I'm trying to transfer the videos from the beach and from the Westgate to my SIM card because it's been so challenging doing my content creation because my device stays full no matter how much I erase off. So I've gotten a habit of don't leave my content on my phone. Transfer straight over to your SD card. And as I go to do that, this morning it is saying that my SD card is corrupted. I've lost everything that was on my SD card. No, you kidding me. All my pictures, all my videos, all my content. So not only so the whole morning, and it happened, and I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to get the SD card put in my laptop to see is it really messed up. I'm legally blind, so when I wake up before I put in my contact, I can't see nothing. So I'm fidgeting around trying to find my contact. Really, I'm trying to do this without my contact, so I can't really see. I can't find the adapter thing for the computer. So I'm like, okay, kiddo, calm down. You got to get your contact in. You got to be able to see. So I do that. I get the thing into the computer, and it's not working. It just, how was it working last night and this morning is corrupted. So I get that news, and then it's time to rush. Like, you got to get out of here, get to work. So I'm already frustrated. I'm like, you know what? That's how it goes. I should always expect this type of stuff because this is what happens. So it was irritating me, but at a certain point, you gotta let the situation go. It is what it is. So that this morning and then this evening, I find out that the card is gone. So by tomorrow, I will have made amends because I become. They're used to. Is that Sam Smith that said that? It was something that was like, dang, it was something like I learned how to lose or something like that. Dang, I can't remember the line, but I'm actually good at losing. I've lost so much in my life that I know how to lose. Like I know this is how it goes, and I know how to. Okay, well you gotta find the bright side of that bad situation and how to let it go quickly. Like it's like you already are like, man, I should have seen that coming. Oh, I should have known. That was too good to be true. But then when you express those type of thoughts, all people do is call you negative. And then they equate it back to you. The reason you're going through so much and why things won't turn around for you is because you're just so negative. Try being positive, and positive things will happen. And in my case, I've tried being positive, and negative happens. And it defaults to negative, and negative happens. But I always survive. I always just barely survive, so I always survive. So I know I'm gonna survive. It's just the struggle is getting to me. I'm getting older, and it's harder to keep fighting the struggle. It's harder. It hurts more fighting. Alright, guys. I will talk to you later. If you watched, thank you for watching and not judging me too harshly. I'm already judging myself. So if you don't know, whatever you could, would, and should say, I probably already said it to myself. But mainly, this video will be a record of where I'm at now. And should things get better or should things get worse? Because that too. Should things get better, I'll see that. See, Kitty, you were right on the verge. And you didn't even know it. Things were about to change for you. But if things get worse, it'll be, it'll let me know that, hey, you actually were doing good when you thought you were doing bad. Because now, see how bad you're doing. You wish you only had that struggle or that problem that you were dealing with in that moment. So, either way it goes, tomorrow's a new day. It seemed like it's just going to be more of the same. Just more of the same. But still got to be hopeful that it could change. Alright, guys. I'll talk to you later. Or if you, Cadillac, are the only one that watched this, Cadillac, I'll talk to you later. Alright. Hiss your girl, Cadillac.